Hey guys, so today we're going to do two-step equation. So what this means is we're going to have two steps. So the previous video we had one-step equation, so this time instead of one step we'll have two steps. So example 1 is we have 32 plus 3h equals 68. And before I even start solving, I'm going to draw that line down the equal sign and I'm going to circle my variable. And I'm going to circle the sign that comes in front. And if there's a number, in this case, there's a 3 attached to that h. Now, if I look there, I have 32 plus 3h equals 68. Well, I want to get h by itself, and this is kind of hard because there's a 32 and a 3. So I want you to think about it like this. Which one of these does not have the variable? And in this case, it's 32. So 32 needs to get kicked out right away, first thing to go. Now 32 is positive. To undo a positive number is I'm going to subtract by 32 on both sides. So here 32 minus 32, gone. And I'm going to bring down that 3h because I didn't touch it. Now remember, whatever I do to this side, I got to do to this side. So 68 minus 32. 68 minus 32, 36. Okay, well now it's not that bad because this is like what we did in the previous video, is I have 3h equals 36. Now remember, this 3 and this h are actually being multiplied, so I'm going to put a little multiplication dot right there. So 3 times h. To undo multiplication is I'm going to divide. So I'm going to divide by 3 on each side. So 3 divided by 3, well, sorry, I cancel that out. That cancels out, okay, goes bye-bye. So I'm just left with h. 36 divided by 3, that's 12. Okay, so I got it. Now one thing that I suggest that you do is just double check it. You can type it in your calculator. So I would do 32 plus 3. Now instead of writing an h, I'm going to substitute that 12. Oops, sorry, that's off the camera. And I'm going to see, does this equal 68? Now we're going to use our order of operations. So that means I'm going to multiply first. 3 times 12 is 36. Now remember, I have that 32. I didn't do anything with it. 32 plus 36, 68, does equal 68. Okay, so it checks out. H does, in fact, equal 12. Now, if you want to type this in your calculator, that's fine. Just note whenever you substitute something, so for instance here, instead of writing h, we wrote 12, make sure it's in parentheses, and you type it in the way that you see it in your calculator, okay? Let's go to the next example. Example 2. All right, example 2. Negative 5a minus 7 equals 108. You know the drill. Draw the line down the equal sign. Circle the variable and what's with it. So in this case, negative 5a. That's a variable that I need to get by itself, which is a. This 7, unfortunately, is on the left-hand side as well. Well, that's got to go. That's got to leave. This is who we're kicking out right now. Since it's a minus 7, to undo subtraction is you're going to add. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Keep that equation balanced. This cancels out, goes bye-bye. So I'm just left with negative 5a equals 108 plus 7, which is 115. Now here we have a one-step equation. You guys have seen this quite a bit. Negative 5 is being multiplied by a, so I'm going to write that little dot right there. And to undo multiplication, which is division, so I'm going to divide by negative 5. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 goes bye-bye. And I'm left with a. 115 divided by negative 5, negative 23. Oops. Okay. Now, if you were to type this into your calculator, because you should double check it, negative 5 times by negative 23 minus 7. Does this equal 108? When you type it in like this. Negative 5, parenthesis, negative 23, parenthesis, minus 7 equals 108. And I'm actually going to go over how to type that in with a negative. So give me 1 second. I'm pulling out my calculator because a lot of us get stuck on where that negative sign is. Okay, so we have a TI-84 right here. Okay, so I'm going to type in what we wanted to check. So -5, parenthesis, which is located above the 8s. And I'm going to type in negative, which is under this 3 right here. You need to write the negative, not the minus. You'll get an error. -2, 3, close parenthesis, -7. 108. So this does indeed check out. If you want to check it out on your calculator like that, fine. If you want to write it out, fine. Whatever works for you, okay? Just note, you got to make sure you type in that negative, okay? If you guys have questions about how to type in stuff in your calculator, make sure you let us know because we will be happy to help you. So we're going to example 3. I know I'm shifting a lot of papers here. Example 3. C/3 plus 6 equals 54. Draw that line down the equal sign. Circle the variable. Now, one thing that's scary about this one is there's division. C is being divided. We don't like division. We get kind of scared with fractions. Don't worry, we'll get through it, okay? But if I look here at this plus 6, he's got to go. He's got to go. So this addition to undo addition is you're going to subtract by 6 on both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So right here, they go bye-bye. They cancel out. So I'm left with C/3 equals, well, 54 minus 6 is 48. Here's where it gets a little bit hard because we do not like having a fraction. So what we need to do is to undo it. The reverse operation is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. They're going to go bye-bye here. So I'm going to have C equals 144. Okay? This one I certainly recommend checking out. So instead of, I'm going to substitute 144 in for C up here. So I'm going to have 144 divided by 3 plus 6. Okay. Does this equal 54? I don't know. Let's double check. So 144 divided by 3. Let's type that in. When you type that in, you're going to get 48. 48 plus 6. Does that equal 54? Yep. This right here checks out. Okay, if you want to type that in, go right ahead. Your calculator is your tool. Please use it. All right, we got one more example, and there's more dividing. Example 4, J minus 19 equals 11. Draw a line down your equal sign. Circle your variable, which is J. Here, I have J minus 19 up top, and then I have a 10 on the bottom. This is kind of hard, like who goes first? Well, I'm going to get rid of this 10 on the bottom. I'm going to kick him out right away, so I'm going to multiply by 10 on both sides. So they're going to cancel out right here. Okay? And I'm going to be left with J minus 19 equals 110. Now I'm going to go over again what I did. Now 10 is on the bottom here, so I really multiplied by 10 over 1. Okay? These 10s, they cancel out, they go bye-bye. And I multiply by 10 over 1 here. The reason why I don't have this over 1, because J minus 19 over 1 is just J minus 19. Same thing here. 10 times 11 is 110. 110 over 1 is just 110. Okay? Now here, I'm going to add 19 to both sides because this 19, gotta go. J needs to be by itself. Add 19 to both sides, add 19 to both sides. Right here, goes bye-bye. So I'm just left with J, and J equals 129. Again, this is a multiplication division problem. Let's double check it. 129, so I'm substituting 129 in for J. Minus 19, all over 10. Does this equal 110? I don't know. I'm going to show you how to type it in your calculator because I know this is a one that you guys are going to type it in quite a bit. So when you're typing in fractions, you're going to put the top in parentheses. So I'm going to have 129 minus 19 parentheses. Then we're going to divide it by, let's show you guys some buttons, 10. The reason why I'm putting the top in parentheses is so my calculator knows I want to subtract those. And you push enter, and you got that it equals 11. Is that what we wanted? Oh, I wrote run 10. This should be 11. Yes, it does equal 11. So J does in fact equal 129. Sorry, guys. Make sure you double check these. Even if it is just typing in your calculator, double check them. That means there are no excuses of getting these wrong. Okay? Please, please, please double check your problems. So going over the steps is you want to get the variable by itself. Kick out the one that's not with the variable, and then do the last step to get the variable on its own. And then always double check your work.